Well, let's take you and bring you an update on the Ablekuma North Constituency story, where NDC's Nana Ama Irabna Orbin has accused the Electoral Commission and the NPP for conniving to manipulate the Ablekuma North parliamentary election results. Tensions have been on the rise in the constituency as the EC is set to conclude collation. A returning officer for Ablekuma North Constituency, Vincent Oben, yesterday at the Regional Collation Center gave up on the collation process and demanded the EC to look for another official to take over after the process almost turned fisticuffs between the agents of the NPP and the NDC. My colleague James Aveji was at the Collation Center and presented this report.
Suspended the coalition of result for Ablekuma North constituency. You would recall that on Monday, they have been able to authenticate some 13 out of the 20 outstanding polling stations. But just before the process could kickstart today, the NDC constituency organizer for Ablekuma North, Musa Kalami, raised some concerns accusing the EC of not telling the truth to the public when he says all 13 polling stations had been authenticated on Monday.
Some of the POs, when they met the returning officer, they told the returning officer they can't confirm the figures on the scanned pink sheet of MPP. The returning officer of Ablekuma North, Mr. Obin, came in front of you, the media, and told you all the 13 POs that they brought here confirmed the figures on the pink sheets. I am now going to introduce or bring in a PO who came in the last time and said he did not confirm the figures on the pink sheets.
The presiding officer for the polling station in question have also been telling his side of the story.
No, I didn't, because there were some figures on it and some handwritings weren't mine. That's what I told the returning officer when I came last Monday.
Handwritings on the pink sheet wasn't
figures, and yeah, there's some part of the handwritings wasn't mine. That's what I told the returning officer. That was what happened on Monday.
You feel the handwritings, the writings were manipulated?
I can't say. I just know it's not mine, so I don't know like where from.
What about the signature?
The signature was mine. The name was mine too. The name was mine. The signature was mine.
So you did not authenticate it?
No, I didn't authenticate it because I told the returning officer.
The EC kick-started the process to authenticate the coalition pink sheet of some 7 outstanding polling stations. But in the middle of the coalition process, there was chaos.
How the NDC organizer did on the 8th of December in Ablekuma North, all the TV stations, you are seeing
So you see the police trying to make an arrest. One person is currently being pushed out of the collation room. The other official that the police are trying to take out of the room now is the NDC organizer for the Ablekuma North constituency. The police are intervening now, asking that he's been brought back to the collation center. But at the end of the day, the EC has been able to authenticate only 4 out of the 3 constituent polling stations. Here is the returning officer for the constituency.
We came today. We've been able to do 4 out of the 7. So we are left with 3 more. We brought our presiding officers here. 2 came, and they couldn't authenticate the statement of pool and declaration form. 1 said she can't come. So that is the 3 now. It's so unfortunate for me to make this statement that I'm done with Ablekuma North. They should find a new returning officer to continue their work for them. Thank you.
We haven't got in there.
When you call me, I don't come.
You haven't got in there. I think it is out of frustration that he's saying what he said. And I understand him, but I don't think that's the end of the road. We'll get him back. The other guy said that he can also not deny or affirm. We'll give ourselves time. There's another person who's a lady. He said that even if we bring Caterpillar, he will not come back because of what they have gone through. And my sadness is that if we are doing this to our own people, 2024 is not the only time we'll have election. We'll have election in 2028. Are we sure that we'll have dedicated people to come and serve Mother Ghana? Truth will always be the truth. So that's what I would say.
The NPP's parliamentary candidate, Ekuafri, has also been responding to what has been happening in the course of the day.
By the grace of God, truth was stand. In the first place, I appreciate the justice system that we should go and collate. And I am firm. I want to say on record that I will fight this till end because I know I won.
As it stands now, the final result cannot be declared because the EC would have to go back to authenticate the rest 3 of the outstanding polling stations. It is unclear when they will come back to do that and declare the final result. My name is James Savage, reporting for Joy News.
But speaking on PM Express last night, NDC's Irabna Oben accused the NPP and the EC of playing manipulative games to rig the elections. Take a look.
It's been pretty frustrating, disappointing, nauseating. It's been awful. It's been awful. Sadly, we weren't expecting this series of events from the MPP and the Electoral Commission. But sadly, we are witnessing series of attempts just to overturn the actual results from the constituency at the just ended polls or elections. The majority of voters or the electorate in Ablekuma North voted for change, and they voted massively for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and they voted for Irabna Oben. But you see, if she claims she won the elections, why did she go about the constituency, taking back gifts and goodies she had given to entice voters in the first place? Maybe when you engage her, you should ask her. We spent 2 days and nights at our constituency collation center, tabulating figures and results, simply because the EC, perhaps they weren't being straightforward with us. It was at our constituency collation center where our MCE, well, outgoing as of today, our MCE sneaked in pink sheets, parliamentary pink sheets, to favor the NPP candidate, even at the constituency collation center. And so the mayhem at the constituency began when the EC started calling out figures, and grassroots and supporters out there heard some votes, and they thought, why did they mention some strange figures that we are all coming from the polling station? We didn't hear this. I'm surprised the EC is not worried. I'm surprised the EC is not concerned. I'm surprised the police are not worried about these developments. That what happened? Why don't we invite these parties, these allegations? What's the proof? Where did it happen? How? Because the police were present. The police that were meant to protect both parties or all 3 parties. All 219 were pink sheets that the NDC produced.
Right.
And even as of today, since the EC said we could produce scanned documents or soft copies, we presented some of the results to them. They refused to pick it or to take it or to accept it. They were bent on accepting soft copies from the NPP, but not from the NDC. How are you a fair referee in such a game? It is not about what will work for me. It is about what is acceptable, what is fair. This is not going to be the last election in Ablekuma North or in Ghana. So subsequently, what are the electoral laws? What are we looking forward to, or what are we looking up to? Okay, so if the EC is to come out today and say that we are going to have a rerun, how many polling stations are we going to have the rerun at? Because from 62 polling stations, they accepted scanned documents only from the NPP, not verified by the NDC, not double-checked by the NDC, but only the NPP and the EC. Today, we were at the collation center. Now, it was yesterday as at 9:47 p.m. I had a call to say that you are to present yourself and your agents to the collation center today. But on Monday, when we left, before we left the center, I am pretty sure the NPP, that is the other side, they knew they were going to be here today. And so ask yourself that what exactly is the EC doing, or what exactly is the EC doing with the NPP? I think this administration of the Electoral Commission has been, I have no words, but I am so disappointed. I am so disappointed at how they make up their own rules. Look at the case of Techiman South. Let's look at our electoral law. What was the stance of the EC after declarations, and what is their stance now?
Right.
Well, we have in studio the NPP's parliamentary candidate for the constituency, Nadeka Friye, and we'll hear from her shortly. First, let's listen to the returning officer for the Ablekuma North constituency. But when we find that, we'll bring that. We've got Nadeka Friye in studio, and let's get straight to it. Many thanks for joining us in studio today.
Thank you.
How are you feeling after the roller coaster of your constituency and the?
Well,
are you okay?
it's going well.
It's everything is going okay.
Everything is well.
Right. You have also followed the conversation with the NDC's candidates, which we have also just aired for our viewers to see. What do you have to say about some of the allegations that she leveled against you?
Well, we have substantive issues to talk about. I think all that she was saying were rhetorics, just to make allegation. EC is mandated to do its work in an appropriate manner. And all that I know is you provide your pink sheets. We were told to provide scanned copies, soft copies, or the original. Because of the incident that happened at the collation center, that is the NDC tax meeting our people and collecting pink sheets from them, including POs, beating them up and all that. And so we were asked to now move forward to ensure that we provide anything that will help them collate. And so, fortunately for us, we were able to have our scanned copies of all the 281 polling stations. Little did they know that we had those, because they felt that they had torn all the 281 from us. And so, fortunately, that is what we provided. And they are substantive issues. It's the figures we're going to talk about. It's not babbling and giving all sorts of, allegations that are unfounded. And so...
Okay, that said, so we're quite clear on 219 polling stations. There's nothing that is contentious about that one.
Nothing is contentious about all from where we've gotten to.
Okay. All of the polling stations for the NPP, nothing is contentious.
Yes.
The EC would not be recollating if there was something that's contentious.
So let me explain.
Please go ahead.
So we have 281 polling stations in Ablekuma North. And when we got to, fortunately, I used my scanned copies of all the 281 to verify for them. Because when we started the collation, they claimed they don't, we should break something. And they claimed they had all the 281 hard copies. After they torn some of ours, I had my full scanned copies. So I provided all, with even the soft copy on the laptop. And it was verified. They were the same with what they brought. And fortunately, they brought the polling stations that they had won. And so they were bringing it out. We were not perturbed because at the end of the day, we are going to do 281. So whether you bring the polling stations that you won or you lost, we were not cared. I mean, we did not care. We're not bothered. So when they bring the pin sheet out, we say, we have it. We verify it's good with our scanned copies. And they got all the 219. So she was leading a bit after the 219. Then immediately they stopped. They said they were tired. So we had to continue the following day. We were not worried. So we said, okay, the following day we continue. Knowing very well that we had already collated ours and we had won. So we were not worried at all. So we came the following day. Then immediately they said, we are not going to continue. We are going to declare our candidate. So we are leaving the 62 polling stations behind. I said, no, I will not agree. Because I used my scanned copy to verify for you. And so we are still continuing with my scanned copies, some of my originals. I have by 80% of the originals.
Okay, at the time?
At the time.
Okay.
I still have them.
Okay.
And so we are going to continue.
So 20% of the of what you had earlier is what you're saying the NDC thugs had destroyed.
Yes, that's 20%
so
of the original.
Yes, so you're left with a soft copy of those.
Of those, I'm left with soft copy of those, correct. So the following day, no, you declare. I mean, you saw the videos. Otherwise, we'll kill you. We'll do this, we do that. And the returning officer said, I'm scared. I mean, I haven't finished. The law says you should collate all, underlined, ALL, all. And now you are telling me to declare after 219. I think it's unfair. He said, no, declare. And he said something. In fact, some of us didn't even hear what they said. And we left. Everybody started running away. So when we got home, I said, well, this thing I have to get in touch with my lawyer. I did that. We went to court, the High Court. And the High Court ruled that, you know what, with all the 4 constituencies that we are talking about, go back and collate. And that is what the law says. They said, well, they wanted to join, have a rejoinder, and they were not allowed to. So it went back to the Supreme Court. It came back to High Court. They ruled again, go and collate. So why I'm saying that we are not talking about any 219 is that we have 281. We came back and continued the collation.
I want a bit of clarity. Among all the constituencies that were taken to court, Ablekuma North, you say, was part of it. Was part of it.
Yes.
We needed that clarity because at some point people...
Ablekuma North was part
of that.
Yes.
And was that different from your personal lawyer that you had gotten in touch with?
No, the same lawyer for all the 4.
For all the 4?
All the 4.
Okay.
Because collation has stopped for all.
Okay.
So we all joined together and went to the court. So we came back, collation continued. Then I will agree. I don't like the spin sheet. I will agree. When they see that the polling station is my stronghold, which I allowed them to use theirs, they said, no, we will not agree. This one, no. This one, this. So we had a lot of challenges, but I'm determined to stand until the end. So we've gone through that. Then we got to a stage, we did 42.
42 out of the 62 remaining?
Yes.
Right.
Then we were left with 20.
Right.
So the 20, we started with the 20. They said, no, then you have to bring the presiding officers to come and verify.
What do you think is the contention behind they asking the presiding officers to come and verify the remaining 20?
You see, I don't think they have any issue. The only thing is, because their government is in power, so they were crying for rerun.
At the time that the request for recollation and the back and forth started way in December, the government just was sworn in just recently.
The government was sworn in. No, not swearing in, but the government won. I mean, our flag bearer conceded immediately. I mean, you are all aware.
Okay.
And so that is where the whole tension started. The thugs started, attacking people. This thing started from that day, on the 8th. In fact, 7th midnight. You are aware.
On that 7th midnight, Irabna Oben of the NDC is claiming that the MC in that area was the one supposedly to...
An unfounded allegation. It's false. It's not true. The MCE even came there late. And when the people started those fights and all that, the MCE just left. I saw the MCE in a flash, just about 5 minutes, he left. He never brought anything. Now, you see, when someone is speaking, try to pick some things that you can see that is a lie, is a complete lie. When we started collating, the gentleman who came on the television who was fighting people, his name is Kalamu. He's the constituency organizer.
For the NDC? For
the NDC. This same person, I was there. I wasn't told. I was sitting right in the room when he came there with tax, bolted away with the EC pink sheet. In my presence, when he was going, started tiring them. And we have pictures to that effect.
Why have you not taken any initiative about that?
So they left. And everybody was quiet. So now the following day was when the EC called all of us to bring what we have. Because you have sports mine. So bring what you have. So it comes to where the 219 we got to at the collation center, the regional collation.
Minus the supposed ones that this NDC gentleman had torn.
Yes, the last one. You mean the last one? The last one was just yesterday.
Oh, the tearing of this is just yesterday?
No, the tearing of it was the same midnight.
Exactly.
That is on the 8th.
Yes, so that's where my concern is that the tearing of the pink sheet, I've seen that you've mentioned it not once, not twice. And I'm wondering, do you not concern yourself at all that you have such hard evidence and you're not pursuing it?
I have mine.
Because you have the soft copies
yes,
of those.
and I have hard copies too. In fact, the 20% that was torn by the tax outside, one of my boys had brought it. They were trying to bring it to the collation center to verify with what the EC will be mentioning. Do you get me? Now, when we finish the election, bring your mind here, when we finish the election, the 281, we immediately scanned them.
Okay.
So we had the hard copies, and we had the soft copies as scanned.
Right.
And then one of my boys divided our pink sheet with the presidential and started going to the collation center with about the 20% he was having.
Okay.
And the 20% was actually taken away from him, torn them, beaten, and this boy was rushed to the hospital. That was the first place. I was trying to cut it, but since you are asking for details...
Yeah, because we just want...
And the guy was sent to the hospital. So we lost that 20, but we had the soft copies.
Okay.
So you get the point now.
Yes, we do.
Now, when EC was doing its own thing, we had everything on our laptop because we had already collated. And we have seen that we had won with 414 votes.
Okay.
So we're only waiting for the EC to complete its own collation.
What are some of the concerns that you're worried about that the NDC is saying? Because you say that when they see that it's not in their favor, they go against it. But when it is in their favor, they are okay with it.
I was not bothered.
What are some of the...
I don't have any concern because we are dealing with 281, my dear. We are dealing with 281. So when I start, and it's your stronghold, and you mention I'm not bothered.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, we'll get to the 281.
Doesn't matter at all the concern of the NDC saying that they are not okay with the scanned copies because they think that it can be manipulated. Doesn't matter to you at all?
When we started with the 219 and we're using our scanned copies and it was favoring them, were they not concerned?
Okay.
I used my 219 scan. Everything was the same. When they bring the pink sheet out, it's the same. They claim they had all the 281. What are you hiding from? Why are you now saying you don't have the rest of the originals? Because it favors a free year. So you don't have it. That's a trick. You get my point now?
Yes. Now we have 3 only outstanding. Up until yesterday, there were a few allegations as well live on TV that a particular presiding officer says that he is unable to authenticate the figures on a particular pink sheet, but he can confirm his signature and his name. Did that come to your attention?
Yes,
How do you feel about that?
He said, I was there.
Yes.
He said, I confirm everything written on the paper, the figures, the handwriting. They are my handwriting, the signature is mine. The first one. Then they brought another photocopy pin sheet from the NDC that has been altered. The figures has been altered. So they brought original pin sheet to this gentleman. And they brought the scanned, not scanned, photocopy. Then he said, I know this, but with this one, I can't confirm. That was number one. We are talking about 3 people. The gentleman who came on television later, that was brought by the NDC, is a strong NDC. So he was coached to come and say that is not for him. But you know what? He has implicated himself because he said that from the top, everything is my handwriting and my signature. The down, everything is my handwriting and signature. The figures are my handwriting. The words are my handwriting and signature. But the figures and the words are the same.
The EC declined commenting on that, but what do you think the EC should do with such a document? They
have original.
Okay, so it won't matter.
It won't matter what you come to say, what somebody has told you to come and say. It doesn't matter at all. They have the original. It's the same as the other 2. So his, was he actually accepted? That's gone. The 3 we are talking about,
yes.
The gentleman said, that's my handwriting and everything. The other one you brought, I can't confirm. It's not even clear, but this is original pin sheet. And I remember this is my handwriting. So that's number 1. They started shouting. We will not agree. The boy said he can't see anything. And then that's one, the arrow put it aside. Then he called another gentleman. He also said, everything on the paper is my handwriting. Then the arrow asked, how about your rejected ballot? He said, I can't remember that there was a rejected ballot. But in fact, from top to down, every figure, every word on it is mine. The signature too is mine. But I can't remember there was rejected ballot. That is too easy, will accept, because that is original pin sheet. It's not a scanned or photocopy.
Okay, which is the last 3 that are outstanding.
And then the third one making the 3, the lady called and said, I was beaten the day I was bringing the pink sheet. Fortunately, I had a picture. I snapped a picture because they were told to make copies with their phone when they finish. He said, fortunately, I have. I'm doing a voice note to send to the EC to actually let them know that there I am not coming because I was beaten the last time. I am afraid of the way they will handle me when I come. Because, you know what?
Who are they?
That is NDC. The lady was malhandled. So she said, I'm not going to come, but I can make a voice note and send you a copy of what I snapped. If you use it and you check, this is from your own PO.
Okay.
So the lady sent it, and we all got copies. In fact, we got copies with the voice note.
What then did you say told that? Why didn't we conclude it yesterday again?
The same old story. We will not agree. We will agree. We will do this. Then the arrow said, okay, then I'm closing. In fact, I've gone through hell with this thing all the time, and I'm not going to continue it.
How do you feel about that?
He will continue.
How?
He has to continue. Do you know why? The law binds the arrows to do it. Yes. So the first one, the second one, we have third. So if the arrow says he is not going to do, which I'm praying that he has finished with it, we are left with 3. He should actually finish with it and declare the winner. So I'm praying that God will touch his heart to come and continue, because with these 3, we have the original pink sheet. So there is nothing to hide.
Leaving the center yesterday, what did the EC say, and what's the next move after yesterday?
We will be called again.
Okay.
I am still trying to find out what the decision is now, the Electoral Commission, the decision they've taken now to continue, because I'm eager to finish and start my work.
A bit more on the returning officer. So the returning officer, you're unable to compel him by law, but we're praying that God will touch his heart so that he'll come and finish the work. Or if God doesn't touch his heart.
By law, but because he has his deputies. So I know that if he says, well, I'm still not interested because of it, because his wife was threatened. They went to his house and all that, a whole lot of things. So he's compelled by law. But at the end of the day, if he says, indeed, I'm not going to do it, the second deputy is there. The EC will take a decision and allow any of them to do it. At the end of the day, it will be collated.
And so, per your numbers and your figures, you have said continuously that you're leading.
Yes.
What numbers are you leading by?
Okay, so now the 281 polling stations, we've been able to collate 278. The 278, I got 34,296. The NDC got 33,947. And so when you deduct this from this, I'm leading with 349. And interestingly, the other 3 polling stations, I'm leading too. I won all the 3 polling stations. And that is where the contention is. We will not agree because they saw the figures.
If you add the next 3, and I'm going somewhere with this question, if you add the next 3 polling stations to the current number that you have, you'd be having a total of how much?
A total of 414.
414.
Yes.
In the time that you won, you've been a member of parliament for that constituency before. Do you recall how much margin you won with?
Yes, I'm going to come by that. You know, we've had challenges throughout Ghana in this election. We were expecting, my expectation was that at least I should get about 64,000. Because if you look at the trend, during my time, 2016, I had 54,698, making 66.84%.
Okay.
And the NDC got 26,830. In fact.
Would you say that with your previous numbers
Yes.
in this contest, this was quite a keen contest?
No, it wasn't.
It's not a keen contest at all?
Did not. Our people didn't come to vote.
Okay.
Yes, our people, about 52,000 people did not come out.
If after collating the EC, because then you have said that you believe in the mandate of the EC, the EC still does not declare you as winner, what would you do?
They will. Oh, they will. But there is no indication. I mean, my sister, when you're going for election, you deal with figures. If Ekwefrie is here and she's able to give you her figures, everything, and from beginning, from 1 to 281, I haven't heard. There hasn't been any mistake. Everything consistently has been the truth, and it is going the same.
If you eventually are declared as the winner, what do you hope of doing for a returning MP, much expectations? What would you do?
A lot. I have to continue the work I started. I'm building a hospital at Awosh. You have to complete it. I started the Ablekuma North Station. I've built it for them. I have few to do. I take care of widows and a lot of people I can mention. I do a lot for people. There is something that my opponent said, and I think she made mention of going round if I knew I had won.
The allegation of
yes,
you
I
going
saw it.
to
Yes, you played it. Yes.
And please address that in your wrapping conversation, in your wrapping comments, adding the allegation of you conniving with the EC.
Oh, okay. And she said, I want to quote her. She said, if you know you have won, why do you go about collecting things you gave to people? My dear sister, I don't think I feel obliged to respond to comments of that nature, especially considering personal struggles with drug addiction for 2.5 years in rehabilitation in US. Such a person, I don't think I feel obliged to answer her.
You mean the NDC
yes,
candidate?
Yes. Yes, being in rehabilitation center for 2.5 years, I don't feel obliged to answer such a person.
We definitely cannot stand with this allegation.
But you don't make allegation to say the person is a con lady and she's going around collecting things she gave to people. That is also an allegation. And so I'm replying to that. My next answer to that too is that, you see, if you are in a bathroom, there is an old adage that says that if you are in a bathroom bathing and you hang your clothes on the wall and a madman or a mad person comes to pick it up, you don't come out naked following the person.
These are clearly your opinions, and then NDC, the Joy News can really not authenticate these ones as
but
well.
I don't think you also told her the day. No, you were not told. You didn't tell her.
You can refer.
You didn't tell her she's making an unfounded allegation. You did. I didn't see it in.
We did.
And so
we did.
Then mine too should be on record.
It's on. No, we're not taking the record away from you at all, except that we cannot authenticate it. Okay. That's all. Yeah. Yes. But moving forward, and final words. Well, you're hoping that in how many days should the EC call you back?
I'm hoping that because we are left with only 3 polling stations, which is very easy to call it and add and declare the winner. We are hoping that today, tomorrow, we should finish. Okay. So that I will be able to have the opportunity to serve my people. Even though we had challenges of people coming out to vote, we couldn't get them to come out to vote. The MPP in Ablekuma North, we always get the 64,000 registered voters out on the street to vote for MPP. This time, the challenge is we didn't get about 34,000 did not come out to vote. And so those who voted, I appreciate it. And so I'm in a hurry to continue my work.
We're nearly there. 3 polling stations more to add, and then we'll get to know who finally would be representing the Ablekuma North constituency. Many thanks for joining us today, and Carefree. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
We'll go for a quick break. We'll be back shortly. Please stay.